Welcome to Nature Walk, the podcast where we explore the wonders of the natural world and delve into the fascinating stories that shape our planet. I'm your host David, and I'm excited to share with you today's journey into the world of amphibians. As we step into the lush landscapes of Central America, we find ourselves in the midst of a crisis that has been unfolding for decades. The amphibian population has been declining at an alarming rate, and one of the main culprits behind this decline is the notorious chytrid fungus. This fungal disease has been spreading rapidly across the globe, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. One species that has been particularly hard hit is the Panamanian golden frog. Once thriving in the wild, this beloved amphibian has not been seen in its natural habitat since 2009. The story of its decline is a tragic one, with conservationists like Edgardo Griffith remembering the devastating impact of the fungus on the species. "I watched the chytrid fungus come, and it was devastating," he recalls. "I was going out 2 or 3 times a month for 4 years. You get to know the animals. As they were dying, I had to pick up their bodies, and I recognized every single one." Despite the challenges, conservation efforts are underway to protect these incredible creatures. The El Valle Amphibian Conservation Center, founded by Griffith, is working tirelessly to breed Panamanian golden frogs and other species in a safe and controlled environment. Meanwhile, researchers are exploring innovative ways to monitor and track amphibian populations, using cutting-edge technology like audio moths to detect the faint sounds of these elusive animals. But the story doesn't end there. Habitat loss, driven by human activities like deforestation and urbanization, is also taking a devastating toll on amphibian populations. As Robert Hill, curator of herpetology at Zoo Atlanta, notes, habitat loss doesn't necessarily matter for the fungus itself. It's moving through the system, it's going to find its host and take them out. However, if populations are already stressed with limited space and a lack of genetic diversity, then it can be a factor. As we navigate this complex web of challenges facing amphibian conservation, we're reminded of the intrinsic value of these incredible creatures. They may not be as charismatic as some other animals, but they play a vital role in our ecosystem and deserve our protection. We'll be right back with more fascinating stories from the natural world on Nature Walk. Welcome back to Nature Walk. I'm your host David, and we're excited to dive into our middle segment today. We've got a fascinating story that highlights the intricate connections between human health, wildlife, and the environment. You might be aware of Hansen's disease, also known as leprosy, which affects millions of people worldwide. But did you know that armadillos can carry the bacteria that cause this disease? In Brazil, researchers have been studying the link between armadillo hunting and the transmission of Hansen's disease to humans. It turns out that direct contact with wild armadillos, particularly through hunting and consumption, significantly increases the risk of contracting leprosy. A recent study analyzed over 326,000 cases of Hansen's disease reported in Brazil between 2013 and 2022 and found a strong association between armadillo hunting and the prevalence of the disease. But here's the thing, it's not just about the armadillos themselves. The study also revealed that environmental degradation, such as deforestation, plays a major role in increasing the risk of infection. When habitats are destroyed, animals that carry diseases like leprosy can become more dominant, making it more likely for humans to come into contact with them. This is where the concept of One Health comes in, an approach that recognizes the interconnectedness of human, animal, and environmental health. By preserving biodiversity and protecting natural habitats, we can reduce the risk of diseases like leprosy spreading to humans. As Dr. Elisa Aliaga Samanes, one of the researchers behind the study, noted, creating these models was important for the entire continent and especially for Brazil. Before this study, we really didn't have clear knowledge as to whether hunting really was a significant route of transmission. The implications of this research are far-reaching, and it's a powerful reminder of the importance of conservation in preventing the spread of diseases. By protecting our natural world, we're not only preserving the beauty and wonder of nature, we're also safeguarding our own health and well-being. Stay tuned for our final story of the day, right here on Nature Walk. Welcome back to Nature Walk, dear listeners. As we conclude our journey through the fascinating realm of the natural world today, I'd like to delve into a topic that has captivated human imagination for centuries: animal communication. We often find ourselves marveling at stories of dogs learning elements of human language or recognizing their toys by category, but these anecdotes merely scratch the surface of the complex and diverse ways in which animals interact with each other. Let's consider the elephant, for instance. These majestic creatures use specific vocalizations to address key members of their group, essentially using names to communicate. It's akin to saying, "Hey Dave, over here." This level of specificity and social complexity is not unique to elephants, however. Bottlenose dolphins invent their own signature whistles early in life, which serve as identifiers or names that others use to call them. Even more intriguing, mother dolphins adjust the frequency and pitch of their sounds to create a sing-song tone that facilitates bonding with their young, similar to human mothers using motherese when speaking to their babies. The world of songbirds offers another captivating example where different regions have distinct dialects akin to human accents. The sparrows in one area may sing with what could be likened to a Birmingham accent, while those elsewhere might have a completely different melody and rhythm. And then there are sperm whales, which not only use names, but also have their own phonetic alphabet based on patterns of clicks. By altering the rhythm, tempo, duration, and number of these clicks, they can generate complex messages, somewhat similar to how humans combine sounds to form words. What's crucial to understand here is that animal communication is deeply rooted in the specific social and environmental contexts of each species. Sperm whales, for example, live in tight-knit groups where complex communication is essential for survival, including hunting, babysitting, and defending against predators. It's not surprising, then, that they have developed such sophisticated ways of communicating with each other. However, it's also important to recognize the mistake of trying to fit animal communication into a human-centric framework. Animal languages are as diverse as the species themselves, encompassing not just sound but also color, smell, electricity, vibrations, and even expressive dance. The dynamic patterning and color changes on a cuttlefish's skin, for instance, convey messages that are alien to us, highlighting the limitations of our own perception. In essence, human language is just one solution among many that species have evolved to navigate their challenges. To truly grasp what animals are saying, we need to approach their communication on their terms, not ours. This requires humility and an openness to understand that the natural world is replete with languages and dialects that are beyond our immediate comprehension. As we wrap up today's nature walk, I hope this exploration into the fascinating realm of animal communication has inspired you to look at the creatures around us with fresh eyes and ears. Remember, every species has its own story to tell, its own way of communicating and connecting with others in its world. That's all for today's Nature Walk. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, keep exploring your natural world.